hiding the name of the man who gave chase with their children in the car, failed to control the car and drove off the road, and a police officer pushed the suspect into a guardrail. On February 2, 2024, at approximately 8:51 p.m., I, Trooper Killian, was patrolling Interstate 630 East at Fair Park in the right lane. I observed a white Honda Accord traveling in the middle lane, decreased speed, and transitioned from the middle lane to the right lane directly behind another vehicle, and began following the vehicle too closely. Once behind the vehicle, I ran the license plate through the computer, which showed the vehicle to be registered to a Marcus McBride and to have expired registration.
We're on today. 352. Little Rock 1037.
Due to the vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed, he began to lose control and continued to travel across the northbound lanes and onto a curb before striking the Fletcher Park fence.
Taking Woodrow. Crashed out, Sergeant 1016.
After the vehicle came to rest, the driver began to flee on foot and was unable to get a visual of who was driving. I then inventoried the car and located a gray bag in the passenger floorboard which contained a micro Draco, 6 ounces of suspected marijuana, 2 ounces of suspected cocaine, and a plastic baggie containing pink pills and 3 phones. The suspect was arrested a day later by another police crew. On November 8, 2023, at approximately 3:59 p.m., I, Trooper James Reed, was on routine patrol traveling northbound on United States Highway 79 near Thornton, when I observed a passenger car traveling southbound at a high rate of speed. I locked the vehicle with my front radar traveling at 74 miles per hour in a posted 65 mile per hour zone. After observing the traffic violation, I activated my emergency lights to stop the driver of the passenger car, who took a little time to pull over onto the shoulder. Once the vehicle stopped, I made contact with the driver and passenger. I introduced myself as Trooper Reed of the Arkansas State Police and advised the driver regarding the reason for the stop. I then requested his driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration. The driver stated that he did not have his driver's license on him, but assured me that his license was valid. I then returned to my unit and conducted an ACIC check on the information that he gave me. The check came back with negative results. As I was about to exit my vehicle to speak with the driver, he put the vehicle in drive and began to flee. I attempted to perform a TVI on the passenger side of the suspect vehicle, but was unsuccessful. I continued pursuing the vehicle and positioned myself for a TVI alongside the driver's side of the vehicle. As I got close enough to perform the TVI, the driver of the suspect vehicle abruptly applied the brakes, causing me to pass alongside and ahead of the suspect vehicle. The suspect vehicle then traveled into the median before entering the northbound lanes of the travel.
10-4 northbound.
Shortly thereafter, I approached the vehicle's driver's side again to perform a TVI, which was successful. The suspect vehicle struck a guardrail owned by ARDOT and rolled approximately 2 times along the median, before the driver and passenger exited the vehicle and fled on foot. A short time later, deputies with the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office apprehended the driver. During an administrative inventory of the suspect vehicle, a small black scale was used to weigh marijuana, and a Glock Model 23 .40 caliber with 9 live rounds was located in the vehicle.
Well, they just passed it. 40 just left. We see it.
The chase began when a police officer with a camera was asked to participate in the chase of the Honda that was being chased. The Honda was traveling at speeds of excess of 100 miles per hour with its lights off. The suspect was caught up to and pushed off the road fairly quickly while a part of the road with no other drivers showed up.
TV out, Little Rock. Just northbound from Kill.
Just northbound from Kill. Straight down. We're up on the right side of the road.
The driver and his passenger were arrested without further incidents. On July 2nd, 2023, at approximately 4:26 p.m., I responded to a pursuit in progress on Interstate 30 East near mile marker 84. The pursuit was initiated by Trooper First Class Kendrick Davis. I arrived on scene at approximately 4:29 p.m. to find the suspect vehicle overturned in the ditch after Trooper Davis had performed a TVI. Following the pursuit, the suspect, a white male with body and face tattoos, fled into the nearby woods, leaving 2 minors in the suspect vehicle. Myself and Trooper Davis made contact with the minors to check their well-being. Both minors, a 7-year-old female and a 4-year-old female, appeared to have injuries from the vehicle rollover. They were placed in Trooper Davis's patrol unit. The 7-year-old was in possession of a cell phone and was able to contact their mother for me to speak with her. The mother, identified as Casey Goins, informed me that she was on her way from Houston, Texas, to take custody of the minors. I questioned Goins about the identity of the suspect involved in the pursuit. Goins told me the suspect's name was Thomas Blake, with a date of birth of 7/8/1996. Both minors were transported to Baptist Medical in Malvern for treatment. Trooper Davis performed a search of Goins' social media accounts and located photos of Goins and the suspect, as well as comments from family and friends that assisted in positively IDing the driver. Once the mother arrived at the hospital, she was questioned again about the ID of the driver. Goins once again gave the false name of Thomas Blake and false date of birth. When she was confronted with the fact that the troopers knew the actual ID of the suspect, she refused to acknowledge it. Goins eventually stated that she knew his actual name and stated Thomas Blake was the name he went by. Goins was placed under arrest and charged with hindering apprehension of a person who has committed felony, obstructing governmental operations. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.